Yeah, I think we have really done a lot this year and also had a number of successes this year. Some of the successes that we have done is Parliament's approval of the new CSD law, Central Security Depository Law, which is a world-class law benchmarked by international standards. And therefore, we are also now working on the regulations. Also, it's quite a consultation in terms of the visual assets law or law regulating business visual assets. It will be going to Parliament probably maybe in the next 2 months or so. We managed to also complete that, and also the finalization of the CIS regulations. We finalized the collective investment schemes regulations. And I think it will open up a lot of future opportunities to establish CIUs or collective investment undertakings in Rwanda. I think it's a big plus. But most importantly also, the market has been able to raise a record 210 billion rand in francs in terms of companies coming to the market to raise capital, and they raise capital to expand their services and their productive services and their expansion business plans. So I think which is typically the role of the capital market. So it's been a big success, and we are looking for a few more listings before we close 2025. But the other thing that we also did or achieved is there's a general rise in asset under management for collective undertakings in Rwanda, unit trust by Arnet and by BK Capital. We've had a massive, close to about 25% rise in terms of asset under management and the number of investors who are investing in unit trust. It increased from about 22,000 last year to 50,000 plus within a period of a year. And this is due to the massive education efforts of the CMA, Capital Markets Authority, and the unit trust holders. I think it's a huge success. But also one of the things that we also did in terms of the market education this year is we reached all the four corners of the country. We had some presentations and sessions in the Northern Province, in the Southern Province, in the Eastern Province, and also in the Western Province, and also in the city of Kigali, which is something that we have not done in a very long time. And I think the numbers are there to tell the success of these outreach activities. But we also, while we are looking at developing the investor base in Rwanda, we are also looking at developing the foreign investors coming into the Rwanda market. We have a project that we are carrying out, which is going all well fine, with capacitating our custodial services providers, and also in terms of the knowledge, and also in terms of their network in the world, because capital flows in Rwanda, especially in capital markets, will come through custodial services. That's a big plus. And then on the AML side, as you might know, it's common practice around the world that countries go through national risk assessment for AML and AFCT. And Rwanda also went through this. And currently, there are a lot of other measures that we are doing as the regulator in capital markets, together with other coordinating agencies, to actually improve Rwanda's stature in dealing with issues of money laundering, issues of terrorist financing, and putting measures in place and controls in place so that we become a very viable international financial services center.
And how are you working to attract both domestic and international investors, and also what plans are in place to boost market confidence at the same time?
Yeah, I think in terms of market development, we have put a lot of our market education with our new market development strategy that we have put in place as a Capital Markets Authority. And also there's a lot of collaboration within institutions in the capital markets, not only same way. When you go out there to conduct some of the sessions, we are also with our partners, the Rwanda Stock Exchange. We are also with some unit trust people who are there. And most importantly, we are also with brokers. So we have a whole team of market stakeholders going into places to really teach people about this so that people understand the capital market, so that people have a surety that they are putting their money in the right places. And also in terms of concurrently, while we are doing this for international investment, we are also building world-class regulations and also improvement in terms of the systems that we are putting in place, both IT systems and also both systems in terms of the processes that we do. The turnaround times that we give people feedback.
Technology and innovation plays a key role when it comes to deepening the capital markets. So how have you been able to capitalize on that?
Yes, number one, we as a regulator, one of the things that we do and we do very well is we have a sandbox for innovation. Companies that want to test their technology in terms of development, they register with us, they develop the technology, they test with us after approval, and thereafter they can migrate the technology to go forward. That is one part. But also as CMA, we are currently in a project of implementing automation of the whole process of CMA, so that when institutions come to the Rwanda market to apply, they just do that online. When companies want to file in regulatory requirement, they just do that online. When companies need to be assessed in terms of their risk profiles, the IT system will do that. So we are currently doing this project. Possibly we will complete it next year. It's sort of an integrated risk-based supervision framework.
So we can say it is a part of your FY 2025-26 priorities?
Yes, it is.
And what other priorities do you have for the...
Yeah, some of the priorities that we have is, of course, to still continue to develop the capital markets in terms of the regulatory framework. Number one, we are going to be issuing the regulations that can help us govern the fintech supervision. We are going to be having that. But most importantly, we are also at the final stages of reviewing the law regulating capital markets business. And one of the things that we are looking into this law is to look at for the law to conform to IOSCO principles, an international regulatory body, which will now facilitate CMA to become a full member of IOSCO. And this, I think, will improve Rwanda's stature in the global market and attract a lot of capital to Rwanda, because now we'll be in the best league of capital markets authorities in around. And also the other priority is to continue to revamp our marketing initiatives by implementing our marketing strategy. We have revamped our social media networks. It have gone down by almost 4-5 or so 100% up. And also our outreach in terms of the private sector. We are going to be going to meet members of the private sector, business owners, in order to tell them about the value of raising capital in the market, which also ultimately leads to economic growth of the country.
And does this partnership align with the regional competitiveness?
Yes, it does. It actually aligns well with the regional competitiveness, but not only in terms of competitiveness, but also collaboration. Because East Africa is a big market, and we work collaboratively together with Uganda, with Burundi, with Kenya, Tanzania, in order to develop the region to be a very good region. Because if the strength is in numbers. So the more people we have understanding capital markets and collaborative capital markets in the region, the better. But of course, as Rwanda, we always want to excel.
Looking ahead in terms of the growth strategy for Rwanda or for the capital markets over the next few years, what plans do you have in place, and also which are some of the segments or instruments that are going to be the key drivers?
We have the equity section, where we work together with Rwanda Stock Exchange on the investment clinic, where the stock exchange identified some of the smaller to medium companies that are not yet in the market, take them through teachings and lessons and experiences, and this is what we call the clinic. And then ultimately with the view that these companies will migrate to issue equity or to issue debt instrument. And so far we've been very successful in terms of the issuance of debt. But I think from experience, normally companies are fearful of the market, but as and when they get used to the market after issuing debt instrument, they ultimately issue the equity instrument. This is the strategy that we are doing in order to build the market. There's a lot of concerted effort in terms of the education, but also In order to develop the market, you need to put in place some of the regulation to enable product development. We approved the issuance of REITs in terms of real estate investment trust guidelines. We have also carried out some market capacity building in terms of real estate investment trust. And what we are doing now is that we are identifying certain companies in the economy in Rwanda who can actually structure real investment trust and list them on the stock exchange. The same applies for ETFs, exchange traded funds. The same applies for green, social, and sustainability bonds that we have issued guidelines for. So all these instruments now, we've got a solid regulatory base in place, and now we are doing the business development part so that when people come, they find the regulation ready.